I'm Dr. Mahammad Rafi, Associate Professor, Department of Cybersecurity at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today I want to discuss about the computer network subject, in which the topic is the network layer in the internet. The outcomes of the network layer in the internet is efficient packet routing and forwarding across the network. So which is ensuring that efficient data transfer rate from one network to the other network. So these are the network layer over this the internet, which is providing the unique IP address for the global device identification. By identifying the global device, now establishing the effective communication, enabling the seamless communication between the diverse networks. That means diverse networks means different type of these other networks. Now the communication can be established with the help of the network layers in the internet. These are all the outcomes of a network layer in the internet. The network layer in the internet, at the network layer, the internet can be viewed as a collection of subnets. The collection of nets or collection of subnets, now generally we can call it as a internet. That means now autonomous systems. Subnets, we are calling it as a autonomous other systems that are connected together. These are the network layer in the internet, which is responsible for the routing, addressing and delivering the data packets across the network. That means delivering the data packets across the network means here forwarding the data packets over the network. It ensures that data will be transmitted from source device to the destination other device. Over the in between the source and other destination devices, now number of other routers can be utilized. Over these routers and switches, the data packets can be sent from source to destination. Here, this is the network layer can be utilized. In the OSI reference model, the network layer is a third layer. This network layer is a third layer. This network layer now, which is transferring the data in the form of the packets from source device to the destination of the device. Data packets can be transmitted over the internet. Here, over this the internet, data packets can be transmitted. The information and data can be transmitted in the form of the packets, which is responsible for routing the information or addressing the information. Addressing the information means now, which is identifying the particular unique device. The help of this the IP address or MAC address now, which is identifying the particular unique the device. By identifying the unique device, now the data transparency can be done from the source to the other destination missions. Routing can be done. Routing here in this routing, the best and optimal path can be found. By finding the best and optimal path from the source and destination, now arranging the number of other routers will be arranged. So from the among these the number of other routers now, which is finding the effective path and the best path. By finding the best path, data packets can be transferred from the source station to the destination other stations. Which is ensuring that now the data is transmitted from the source to the destination. Whenever the devices are in a different network also, here is work. Network layer is the actively working, which is enabling whenever the devices are located at the different other network. Here in which now this is the network layer can be utilized. By utilizing this the network layers, now the seamless the communication can be established between the source and destination. Here is the services offered by the generally these network layer in over this the communication and the media. Generally these whatever these are the protocols, network layer the protocols are utilized. These are the protocols these are the protocols can be which is is offering the different other services. That is a packetization. That means data can be transferred in the form of the packets, and the routing service, which is provide the routing services, offer the routing services by the network layer protocols, and the forwarding services, routing services, best path can be. Forwarding means now the data can be forwarded from the source to destination with help of the network layer or the protocols. Different the protocols can be utilized in a network layer. With help of this network layer, the supporting protocols now the data can be transferred. So mainly the network layer over this the internet now, which is the providing these are the services. Packetization service, routing service, and the forwarding service can be provided. Here is the packetization. Packetization means now, so the meaning of this the packetization means now here the data can be transferred in the form of this the packet. That means how this the data now, which is the transferring the form of this the data packets means now. So this is encapsulating the data, whatever the data which is the transferring. So which is encapsulating the data which is received from the upper layer of the network layer. That means if you see this OSI reference model, the first layer is a physical layer, and second layer is a data link layer, network layer. Network layer is a third layer. So here this is the third layer, network layer now, which is encapsulating the data, whatever the data is coming from the transport layer. So that the coming transport layer data, it will be encapsulated. Encapsulated means now wrapping the data into the single unit. By wrapping the data into the single unit now, so which is that means which is providing the packetization can be provided from the upper layer of the network. That is a transport layer. That is a transport layer here. This is upper layer. Transport layer is the upper layer for this other network layer. So of this is also called as the payload. Payload is the network layer packets. Whatever it is now wrapping. So it is a in this the network layer the packets now we are saying as a payload. And the source and decapsulating, that the payload here, whatever the payload now which is encapsulating at the source side now which is decapsulated. So this data can be transmitted here in this the data can be transmitted in the form of this the physical media. Once the data is transmitted in the form of this the physical media at the destination side. So here the payload, whatever the payload now we are transferring, this the payload will be decapsulated. Decapsulated the payload from the network layer packets. Here is at the destination side now the network layer the packets, whatever the network layers at the destination side now which is it will be decapsulated from the network layer at the destination is known as a packetization. That means packetization means now encapsulating, decapsulating can be performed, which is known as a packetization. That is a traffic source with the shaper. That means now, so this data can be sent through in a over this the network now, the packet networking now. If we take this the packet networking, the data can be transferred in the form of this the packet now via this the router. So router number of the routers will be arranged in a packet networking. Over this the number of the routers now, best path, by finding this the best the path now, data packets can be transferred from the source device to the destination device, that is the receiver device. So this is the packetization in the form of this the packetization. So the data can be done. That means packetization means now finally you can set as a wrapping the data into a single unit. Here is the source in this the packetization. What will happen means now source device, whatever the source device now we are taking, these are the source device now which is delivering the encapsulated the packets. Now upper layer, whatever the packets are receiving from the upper layer, that the received the packets can be encapsulated to the data link layer for the transmission. This is at source side. Source side now, that means now by encapsulating the data packets can be transferred to the data link layer. Once the data packets are reaches to the data link layer, again the data link layer can be encapsulated these the packets into the datagrams. So in the form of these datagrams now. So here from that datagrams from the data link layer now, which will be transmitted to the physical layer. Below the data link layer is a physical layer. Once if it is reaches to the datagrams to the physical layer, so the physical layer now, which is transmit the data, that is the transmission media. All these are the transmission media in the form of the bits. That is a 101010 in the form of the bits. Now it will be the encoding can be done. At the destination side now, what will happen means now the receiver, whatever the data is encoded now, that encoded data can be the decoded. That means now here is 1010 form. Now it will be the physical form, whatever the physical form is there. So that will be converted into the data packets, and so above the layer, the network layer, at the network layer, that will be decapsulated as the packets. Like this now, up to the application layer now, it will be sending the data to the destination. Receives the data through the application layer. Data can be received. That is a destination host. What we'll do now, which is decapsulating. The destination host, whatever the encapsulated, the source is encapsulated now. At the destination side, the destination can be decapsulated. Decapsulate the other packets. What are the packets now transferring? The packets can be decapsulated and delivers to the other payload. So here is now a payload to the appropriate upper layer protocols. Here, if you want to transfers the data from this one device to the another device now, these are the layer protocols are required. By supporting this lower layer and upper layer, the protocols are the supports only. Effectively, we can transferring the other data from one device to the another device. That means in the routers in this the path are prohibited from the modifying the source and destination address in the packet. That means the data in between this transmission, here the source and destination address in the packet, while transferring the other packet in between this the transmission now, the routers which is the prohibited, which is not allowed for modification the source and destination packet. Once the packet is sent by attaching this the payload, so here is now in between this now, while transferring this the data packet cannot be modified. That means now the router cannot be allowed to modifications. So this is the property of this network layer. So over this the internet layer. That means no routers are not allowed to decapsulate the packet for forwarding the unless the fragmentation is required. If it is not allowed, it is not allowed for changing the addresses, source address and destination address in between the transmission. Once the packet is released by the sender, that the packet effectively can be reached to the other destinations. In between this, no, we can't able to change the the packets. The address cannot able to change. Here is the next routing. This is about the packeting, and next is a routing. Routing is nothing but it is a process of moving the data from one device to the another device. That means now, so process of moving the data from one device to the another device. These are only two other services offered by the network layer. Here, these process of moving data from the one device to the another device means now, one device which is located on one network, another device is located on another network. So here it is a one device now which is located on a network 1, and second device now which is located on a network 2, and third device also on network 3, and fourth device now which is located on a network 4. Different networks now it will be located. The data transparency can be done from the one other devices to the other devices. These are only two other services also which is offered in a network. There are number of other routers are available from the source to destination. Here, while transferring the data, here is now number of routers can be arranged from the source of the system. So this is a source system. So this is a destination 1, destination 2, destination 2, destination 3, destination 4. Number of destination of the devices. That is a so which will be the number of routers will be arranged in between the source and destination. Via these are the routers now, the data transparency can be done from the source device to destination other device. That means now here is the network layer, which is specifies the some other strategies. Based on these other strategies now, finding the best of the possible routes. Here number of routers. For example, now in between the source and the destination, arrange 100 routers. From this 100 routers, no, the data cannot be transferred to all the 100 routers. Now, which is the finding with the help of these the algorithms and the techniques. Now, finding the optimization and the techniques and algorithms now, which is finding the best path. By finding the best path, the data can be transferred over these routers. That is the optimal path. Over the optimal path only the data transparency can be done. So this is about the routing. Routing is nothing but finding the best path. Here forwarding. Next approach, next the service of the network layer over the internet is a data forwarding. Data forwarding, the meaning of the data forwarding means now transferring the data packets. Here data packets we can say that the data packets only over the network layer. Whenever now we are using the network layer, you can say it as a data packets. Here is forwarding means transferring the data packets from the source device to the destination device by using the intermediary nodes. That is a routers, by using these other routers, which ensures the packets are forwarded based on the destination IP addresses. Here is if the source is the source device. If the source of the device, now if you take the source device, the source device is transferring the data packets over the internet via the routers to the clients, number of other clients, client 1, client 2, up to n number of other clients. Now it can be transferring, forwarding the data. How it is the forwarding the data means now based on the IP address of the destination. So these are the client 1 having one IP address. That means the IP address should be the uniqueness, the communication media, so which is the maintaining the unique IP address. So here based on this unique IP address, the data transparency can be done. That is a identified the destination IP address. Based on that now particular the destination IP address for that the device, the packets can be which is forwarded. That means ensuring packets are forwarded based on the destination of the IP address. So this network layer that can be ensured over the internet. Next, see the differences. The differences between the routing and forwarding. Routing and forwarding, the differences are: routing is the process of moving the data from one device to the another device. So these two devices can be located in a different networks. So this is the process of moving the data from one device which will be located one network and another device that is which is located on another other network. So this is routing can be done. Forwarding is a very simply defined. We can say it as it is an action that will be applied by the router. The forwarding can be done based on the router. Here the router here destination, by identifying the destination address, the router it can forwarding the data packets to the particular other destination. So whatever the packets are arrives at a router here, once it is acting as a interfaces. The routers are which is acting as a interfaces between the source and the destination. Here which is maintaining the routing table. This routing table having the source IP address and destination IP address. Based on this the IP address now it will be forwarding the data packets. Forwarding the data packets from one device to the another other device. This is the forwarding. Both the devices are working different networks. Routers, in terms of this the routers now which is operated on the network layers. Routers are operating at the network layer. So these forwarding also operating on the network layer. Both are operating on the network layer over the internet only. And these routers which is working based on the forwarding table. Here is forwarding table, the number of the routers now, whatever the whatever the routers we are arranging between the source and destination. So these are the routers forwarding table, which is maintaining the forwarding table, which is having the entire the communication media details. Based on that entire communication media or the details now, which will be forwarding the packets from one device to the another other device for different from to the different networks. Here is now check the forwarding tables and forwarding, which is taking the forward, which is having the forwarding tables. Here this also now forwarding tables and work according to that only. Whatever the addresses are maintained in a forwarding table. So whom to we have to forward that particular address now only we can forward to that particular the device. The best example, suppose if you take the mobile communication, if you call to the one particular number mobile device, Airtel SIM, that is the Airtel network now, that the forwarding now, which is the forwarding of the service, what it is doing now, whatever the number now you want to the forward, you are calling to the friend number, which is forward to that the exact particular the device only. That is the reliability, which is improving the more reliability. Forwarding is the forwarding table now, which is having the more, having the more reliability in a communication media. So that's why which is checking the forwarding tables. So we in forwarding table now, which next whom to forwarding this packet, the channels are available or not. If that whatever the number, whatever is the phone number now we are going to calling, which is present while calling time now, which is available or not. So this is the forwarding at the table now, which is the checking, and also the works on the protocols. This is the routing mainly, which is works on the protocols like routing information of the protocol. That means RIP protocol. RIP means no routing information protocol. Based on this RIP information the protocol now, which routings are working. Forwarding, which is generally which is working like a UDP or TCP protocols. Why? Because now UDP is a user datagram protocol and TCP transmission control protocol now. So these UDP and TCP can be used for providing the services. Communication purpose now we are using. Wireless, suppose if it is a wireless communication now, we can utilize the TCP the protocol, transmission control protocol. And suppose if it is a user datagram, that is a UDP now, that means if it is wireless, connectionless means now, which is wireless means now, UDP protocols can be used when they establish the communication between the devices. The best example is a mobile communication. So here is now forwarding, what it is doing now, working on a protocols like UDP and TCP. So what it is doing now, which is encapsulating the security payloads from the upper layers. The upper layers now, suppose the network layer, the upper layer is the transport layer. From the transport layer, whatever the tokens now which is receiving from the transport layer, that the tokens can be encapsulated. By encapsulating this the tokens now, the security that will be encapsulated now. By encapsulating means wrapping that all the data, all the available the information into the single packet. That the packet can be transferred to the other destination. That is a security of the payloads. That is encapsulating the security of the payloads. Here is the network layer in the internet. By using the network layer over this the internet here, the advantages are now packetization. That is encapsulating data, the wrapping data in a single unit now. By wrapping the data into a single unit, we are the forwarding. The data can be the forwarded. So it is which simplifies the data, the transparency in a network. That is a packetization. By encapsulating and wrapping the data into a single unit now, if we are forwarding the data, we are saying it is a data the transportations. That means packetizations now, which is enhance the reliability. Here, these are the packetizations now, which is enhancing the reliability and by eliminating the single point of the failure. If is there any other failure now, these are the packetization that the failure, the packet failures can be that is eliminated. By eliminating this the single failure now, the reliability can be improved. That means reliability means now in time the packets need to reach us, the exact packet needs to reach us to the destination in time. So that is a packetization enhancing, which is the reliability. How it is enhancing the reliability means now eliminating the single points of the failures. Wherever the failures are occurred, that will be eliminated and forwarded. This is the advantage of the packetizations. And in a By using this network layer in a internet, the routers, which is reducing the traffic. How it is reducing the traffic now? By creating the collisions and broadcast domains. By creating collisions and broadcast domains. That means one device to the sending the information to the many other devices. Source station which is sending to the many clients. So by sending the many clients now, so which is routers now, which is reducing the other traffic. By the collision free transmissions can be done, and the broadcasting and the domains can be implemented effectively from one device at a time. Now multiple other devices, the information can be sent to the multiple devices. The best example for this now is online counseling. The MChat online counseling is the best example for this routers reducing the traffic. That means now in online counseling, once the seats are allotted, so from this the server mission now multiple users data transmission can be done, multiple users without the collision free. Whatever the seats are allotted to the students, now that particular the identified students now which is sending the allocations. That is the collision free, the creating collision free, and broadcasting. It's a broadcasting domain. And here is now forwarding, which is ensuring the very efficient transfers of data. Here the efficiency of transfers of data, the packets across the network. So this is a forwarding now, which is ensuring very efficient data transfer rate. Data transfer rate is very efficient. So that means automatically the performance and accuracy will be improved. The data transparency and the performance of while using this the network layer in the internet now, which is the improved, the performance, efficiency, the accuracy, scalability can be improved. So which is ensuring the forwarding efficient data transfer rate from the source device to the destination device. Disadvantages of the network layer in the internet means now the network layer now which is lacks in a building flow control mechanism. So flow controlling mechanism now which is having some lack of the control, and also network the congestion can lead to dropping the packets or data losses. So it will be happen. When it is happening now, dropping packets or data loss, when it is occur means now, so overload, whenever the overload is occur, then the capacity of this the network, now generally it will be happen. So it will be happen, overload is occur here, generally it will be happen. Error control is very limited due to the challenges of the handling the fragmentations packet. So internal fragmentations or external fragmentation. Generally, if the size more than less size of data, if you are going to transferring, then the packet size, the data size is, if it is a less than the packet size, now generally these fragmentations will be occurred. Fragmentation generally it is occurred whenever the size is less, the size is the free space is occurred in a packet. That means the packet size is 4 MB and data size is 2 MB. If 2 MB data now we are going to transferring from the source device to the destination device now, in this the particular packet, the internal fragmentation will be occurred. That is a end error control. So it is a very limited due to these challenges of the handling the fragmentation packets. External equal the internal fragmentation or external fragmentation. Here, so the conclusion of the network layer in a internet. Here is a network layer now which is providing the very essential services like the packetizations, and routing and also forwarding. These are the services very essentially, very effectively the providing. This is the packetization, what it is doing now, which is breaks the data into smaller packets for easy transmissions. So here, with the help of this the packetization, the data size is a complex, or the data size is very ambiguous now, is a very big the data size. If it is the transmission media is not, if it is not support here, this is the packetization, what it is doing now, which is breaking down. The data can be breaking down into the very smaller packets. By breaking down the data into the smaller packets now, easily we can transfer the data over this the transmission media from source to the destination. And the routing, if you take this the routing here, the outcome of this routing now, this the routing which is determining best path. Best path means now optimal path. Optimal path, so which is reducing the cost, traveling cost. The best example for this routing is the traveling salesperson problem. So in a design analysis of algorithm, traveling sales the person algorithm routing can be utilized. This is the routing which is determining the best the path, the optimal path for the traveling salesperson. Here, this is the best path traveling salesperson now visiting the source station to the destination station. Here is now, this is the routing which is determines the best path from this the packets to be the travels across the network. That means once if it is the best path is identified, packets can be the travels from source station to the destination station. So forwarding, which is ensures that packets are moved from one network to the another network. One network to the another networks, they reach their other destinations. These are the services now which is works together to ensure the efficient and reliable data communication. Here it is ensuring the efficient and reliable the data communication over the internet. So this is the conclusion of the network layer by utilizing network layer over the internet. Textbooks for this the topic network layer in the internet is data communication and networking, A4 reason, and computer networks by the IARE the 10 and 1. So these are the textbooks. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.